Archer must understand as I sent him nodding. A boundary field is something that protects its caster. You could call it a geographical magic in which one knits a line of magic across the land to change the interior. Infinite different effects are possible within a boundary field. There are all sorts of boundary fields, from ones that conceal the area from people's eyes to ones that limit the use of magic within them. The most aggressive of all of those are that oppress life forms within them. The boundary field laid out over our school is of that kind. It is not yet complete, but once it is, everyone in the school should fall unconscious. But something like this won't affect me. After all, the boundary field is something targeted not at me, but at the place I am in. Such an indirect magical energy intervention has no effect on magi, who have magical energy throughout their bodies. A weak current flowing through the air will only be repelled by a strong current like myself. So this boundary field has a different intention. I don't know what kind of person set up this boundary field, but his intention is not to defeat a master. It's hard to believe, but his target is everyone in the school. Maybe in a way to hold everyone hostage so he can get to you. Maybe that's what it is. There's only one reason to do something like that. Unbelievably, this guy is. I search the school building and emerge onto the rooftop to finish. It's dark outside. It's 8 o'clock now, way past the school closing time, which is 6. The only people still in the school are me and Archer. Yeah, that doesn't look good at all. An 8-stroke mark is openly drawn on the rooftop. This purplish red character, only visible to Magi, is something I have never seen before and engraved with something unknown. Yeah, we definitely need to destroy this. That's not good. The person who set up this boundary field didn't think about anything. He didn't think, but the boundary field is bound with amazing skill. I can temporarily drain magical energy from the boundary field, but I cannot eliminate the boundary field itself. The boundary field can be reactivated just by having the caster put more magical energy into it again. Drain it of everything and break the wall? I don't know. Vandalism? Archer says nothing. He's been quiet ever since we came out onto the rooftop, probably because he too recognizes the power of this boundary field. This boundary field doesn't just drain one's strength. Once activated, it literally dissolves all the people within it. Oh my god! There are boundary fields that drain physical and mental strength from people within them, but the boundary field laid out over the school is on a completely different level. This is Soul Eater, is a blood fort that dissolves people within it and claims the souls that seep out. That's fucked. Since ancient times, souls have been hard to handle. Even though they're believed to exist and are necessary for magic, only one magus has ever understood the soul. Souls are the only things to be investigated or things to be moved into containers. It's incomprehensible not merely to suck them out, but also to collect them in a single place. It's because a magus has no use for them, even if one were to collect this unconvertible energy. So if there's a reason, it must be. Oh, is it gonna be like a Dracula type being? Then it like drains it so it feeds that servant? I don't know who Dracula would be. I mean, I would guess Vlad the Impaler. So, what would Vlad the Impaler be? No idea. I asked coldly.
ご推察の通りだ。我々は基本的に霊体だと言っただろう。故に、食事は第二、ないし第三要素となる。君たちが肉を栄養とするように、サーバントは精神と魂を栄養とする。
That's dark.
栄養を取ったところで基本的な能力は変わらないが、取り入れれば取り入れるほどタフになる。
So draining and
魔力の貯蔵量が上がっていくというわけだ。
So draining an entire school would absolutely change the game on your servant. Which, if I were to believe this is the cause of why someone's doing this, I can only assume that their servants are naturally weaker, or their magical energy capacity is less than ideal, which is why you have to increase it. Or they're just really fucked up. Yes. To strengthen your servant, you must attack people indiscriminately.
マスターから提供される魔力だけじゃ足りないってこと？
足りなくはないが大いに越したことはない。実力が劣る場合弱点を武士で補うのが戦争だろ。
This would be endless. This would be such amount of supplies that you wouldn't have to worry about getting any more afterwards.
周囲の人間からエネルギーを奪うのはマスターとしては基本的な戦略だ。そういった意味で言えばこの結界は効率がいい。
Archer is saying that if I want to win, I should kill people and steal their strength. I don't know if I'd do that. How simple. I already knew that. That's why I think I know which path I'm going to choose.
それ勘に触るわ。二度と口にしないで、ハーチャー。
Yeah, I don't think I can condone just killing indiscriminate people. I'm pretty sure those are war crimes there. Because if this is an official sanctioned war, would rather not. Because that's really, I don't know. Killing random people usually isn't a good thing to do. Well, maybe that's what that fire was. At the last Grail War. Kill a bunch of people. Go figure. I say so while staring at the mark. For some reason, Archer sounds happy as he confidently answers.
同感だ。私も真似をするつもりはない。
Good. Thank you.
さて、それじゃ消そうか。無駄だろうけど、とりあえず邪魔をするぐらいにはなる。
Well, then we can actually see if anyone goes up here and tries to re-put that mark up there. Then we see them, we take them out. Simple as that. I approach the mark and extend my left arm. The magic crest on my left arm is the Book of Magic, passed down the Kotosaka family. I switch on my senses. I push magical energy into my magic crest, read the part that explains the elimination of boundary fields, and now all I have to do is activate it. Eliminate surgical extraction, second section. I touch the surface with my left hand and let my magical energy flow out. This will at least wash the color off this mark. Aw, shit. Suddenly. As if to stop the erasure of the boundary field, a voice echoes over. Really hope that's a master and not a servant. I quickly stand up and turn around. Nope, that's a servant. On top of the water tower, in the sky 10 meters away, a guy is looking down at me. Yeah, probably not a master. Deep ultramarine that melts into the night. His grin is wide and bestial smell carries on the wind. The stare of the beast is a cool one. Don't know who he looks like. The man in blue looks at me like an old friend, even in this situation.
これ、あなたの仕業？
No, probably not.
いや、小細工を浪するのは魔術師の役割だ。俺たちはただ命じられたまま戦うのみ。だろ？そこの兄さんよ。
Oh, let me guess. The person who saw me the other day marked me as a target, wrote down my information, say, next opportune moment, easiest time, strike and kill her. That's probably what happened. So the master is going to be similar to how I do things. Because I guarantee the master is nowhere in sight here. Casual, but his voice is filled with murderous intent. The guy can see Archer. He's a servant. He should be able to. Yeah! What normal person's going to be wearing that stuff on a water tower? Come on, Tosaka. He's not going to be a normal person.
そうとも。で、それがわかるお嬢ちゃんは俺の敵ってことでいいのかな?
Damn, I should have just said he was a random person standing on a water tower. My spine freezes. A normal, light tone of voice. And it's colder than anything I've ever heard, scary enough to make me vomit. Time to get down to battle. I can't tell how I should move or what my best course is. But my reason is telling me absolutely not to fight this man right here. Yeah, we need to get down here. Get on the
大したもん
ground.
だ。何もわからねえようで要点は抑えてやがる。
Or, because with the roof, there's going to be boundaries. You don't want boundaries set up with an archer. You're going to want open field.
ああ、失敗したなこりゃ。面白がって声をかけるんじゃなかったぜ。
I wouldn't have. I would have killed her instantly, though I don't know what class you are. The man raises his arm. It happens in an instant. The arm that held nothing until now. Oh, that is a spear. Now holds a red weapon 2 meters long. Spear or lance? Take your pick, whichever you want. I jump to the side without thinking. I can't spare the time to consider that I can't jump full force while on the rooftop. I just jump with full force to the side as if trying to smash the fence. A whirlwind brushes past my hair. Archer, can you do something about this? Shoot your bow, please. Barely made it. He rushed me in an eye blink and mercilessly slashed at the place I just occupied.
いい足してるな、お嬢ちゃん。
The blue whirlwind pursues me. There are no escapes. The fence is behind me to my sides. No, I won't make it. What? My response is fast. I run the magic crest on my left arm and assemble the magic in a single measure. It lightens my body and adjusts gravity. In this instance, my body becomes lighter as a feather and I leap.
分かってる、任せて。
I jump over the fence and fall from the rooftop. Okay, I might have made a mistake here. The wind and pressure against my body. 15 meters to the ground, 1.7 seconds until landing. No, that's too slow, he'll catch up. 1.2 seconds until landing. How do you... Oh, math in my head. I don't know. Meters per second square. It's at 1.7 seconds. Sure.
ゴッドエスアトラス。アーチャー、着地任せた。
Yeah, sure. I let Archer take the impact of the landing and start to run as soon as my feet touch the ground. First, I have to change the location. We have to go somewhere we can move around freely, not a small space like a rooftop. We have to move to a large field with no obstacles to play the archers in my strengths. Preferably, you're going to want some hill, a massive hill, or a sharp incline where Archer can set up real quick. This is why we shouldn't have gone into combat. This is why you suppress your magical energy as well. I run through the rooftop to the school ground in less than 7 seconds. It's more than 100 meters. My speed is so fast that normal people would see only a blur. Well, to be fair, you also jumped from a roof. But that's
いや、
too slow.
本気でいい足だ。ここで仕留めるのはいささかもったいなさすぎるか。
How's it going, buddy? Please don't stab me. Meaningless against a servant.
アーチャー。
Oh, hello. At the moment I step back, Archer steps in front of me. In front, taking form. A cloudy night. In Archer's hand is a short sword that reflects the weak moonlight.
へえ、
The man crooks his mouth.
いいね。そう来なくっちゃ。話が早いやつは嫌いじゃない。
That's right, he does have a small short sword. A large whirlwind. That's the weapon struck at me on the rooftop. The blood-red crimson lance that tried to mercilessly slaughter me.
ランサーのサーバント。
Oh, I mean, I would have guessed assassin or something. Come on. Or a caster. Yeah, obviously.
いかにも。そういうあんたのサーバントはセイバー。
Yeah, that's why I keep calling him Archer. Yeah, totally.
って感じじゃねえな。何者だ、てめえ。
I don't know. There's no sign of his previous casual demeanor. In response to Lancer, full of murderous intent, Archer remains silent. The distance between the two is about 5 meters. The weapon in Lancer's hand is about 2 meters. For that man with the bestial smell, I feel like the remaining 3 meters are meaningless. No, yeah, he could probably cover that in a blink of an eye.
まっとうな一騎打ちをするタイプじゃねえな、てめえは。ってことは、アーチャーか。
Yeah, that's why keep yelling Archer constantly. Archer doesn't respond to the sneering voice either. Confronting each other strangely are red and blue. The two counterfeit colored knights are already watching for the other's clinching blow.
いいぜ。好みじゃねえが、出会ったからにはやるだけだ。そら、獲物を出せよ、アーチャー。
Not at this distance, I'm not taking out a bow.
これでも礼はわきまえているからな。それぐらいは待ってやる。
If we're at this distance and I take out a bow, you're just gonna run me through with that spear. That is stupid. Archer does not respond. There's nothing to say to an enemy he must defeat. That steel back of his seems to declare so. That makes me realize. I'm being stupid. Archer is just waiting for my word, my command. Do it.
アーチャー、
I talk to his back without approaching him.
手助けはしないわ。あなたの力、ここで見せて。
Make quick work of him. I want to get in and go to sleep in an hour. Can you be done within the next 10 minutes? I'll let you play around a little. Was that a laugh? He grins as if to answer my words, and the Red Knight dashes forward. Twirling gust of wind. Short sword in hand, the red bullet launches.
バカが。
Actually, if he gets in distance, where in between the 2 meters, if he's like up close and personal with him, the lance isn't gonna do jack shit. The man, what meets him is a blue spear thrust. If the dashing archer is a raging wind, the responding spearhead is a divine wind. The sword is swung, a swing to deflect the thrust. Archer parries the thrust of the high-speed lance with his short sword. The one in red stops. The enemy did not permit Archer's rush. Of course not. He wants to keep you within that 2-meter range. Or at the 2-meter range. The enemy doesn't even let him get within 2 meters, the range of the spear. For a long weapon, distance is always preferred. As Lancer has a weapon almost 2 meters long, he only needs to attack when the enemy comes into his range. Thrusting at an approaching enemy is easier than moving out yourself. But even so, Lancer closes the distance himself and doesn't even allow Archer to move forward.
たわけ。旧兵風情が接近戦を挑んだな。
His temper is like a burning fire. Lancer closes in with each blow with no thought of stopping. With a long weapon, it's suicidal to close in to an enemy. The spearman's tactic is to use their long range to defeat the enemy and win the battle. So as Lancer is just advancing unchecked, he doesn't have a chance of winning.
嘘。
But that's just by the book. Lancer's lance shows no vulnerabilities as it strikes for the throat, shoulders, forehead, and heart. Thrust so fast even the after images are blurred. As each strike of his lance repels, rebuffs, and pushes back Archer, any one of his thrusts could be called a final blow. But even as a bowman, Archer is a servant. No ordinary attack can be a final blow. Having repelled the lance aimed at his forehead, Archer closes in with speed superior to Lancer's lance. Based on its shape, you might think that the main attack of a lance is a thrust, but the basic strength of a lance is in swings. This is because a wide swing, such as using its long range, does not allow the enemy to dodge it by stepping back. A partial retreat does not allow escape, and an attempt to counterattack will only result in a slashed stomach. But simply going forward will end up in a smashed ribs from the long shaft of the lance. Archer and Lancer are similarly built. It's hard for Archer with no heavy armor to step into range of a lance swung it like a whirlwind. But thrusts are a different story. A blazing fast thrust certain to strike you is certainly scary. But as long as the attack targets a point, there are many ways to avoid it once you see it. As Archer did just then, hitting the shaft of the approaching lance to redirect it slightly creates an opening. It must be because he underestimated a bowman. The advantage of a long weapon is in the length and freedom of its range. Once Lancer has discarded these advantages himself, his defeat is. The one in red stops. A nightmare-like time is reversing. The thrust is faster than the previous ones. What? Archer tries to parry the blow, but he gets flicked away along with his weapon. There are no openings in Lancer's attack. No, not just that, the thrust increases in speed and power without limit as it becomes the final blow even for a servant. We are the ones that underestimated him. For that servant, for Lancer's weapon, there are no general rules about lances. Who could even parry continuous attacks without even space to breathe between them? Archer manages to retreat a bit and parries, and as a result the distance between them opens a little. That distance, Lancer uses the distance as a runway to launch an even more powerful attack. Well, yeah, he's probably going to try to back you into a wall and just cut you open. The raging continuous attack is only a repetition of that, but the blows themselves are godlike. 10 blows already. No, it must actually be many times more than that. The heavy rain of the lance pours with yet more strength, trying to skewer Archer to death. It's not fast, but it's just skill. It thrusts like a waterfall with no change in speed. What can Archer do as he's now on the defensive? With such a short sword, he can only parry the lance. He has no way to close in on Lancer, and he continues to retreat. A vacuum of steel unfolds. Support, I have to back Archer up, but my throat won't respond. My magic has poor aim. Unless Archer gets far away from Lancer, I will hit him with my magic as well. Shoot it. Ah, damn it! I'm sorry, Archer, I didn't mean to hit you in the kneecap. Ah, you bitch! Such an opening would only increase Lancer's advantage. And besides, frankly, I'm captivated. This is a battle between servants. This is the Holy Grail War itself, where we use heroic spirits, the highest rank of familiar, whom we would never otherwise obtain. Servants. Familiars of different classes that obey the 7 masters. These are the highest ranked familiars called heroic spirits that the Holy Grail summons. So it's misleading to call them familiars. Originally, familiars were just beings that ran errands for the Magus. Imagine perhaps a cat in boots, or a cute white bird, or a black dog that doesn't obey its masters, something like that. Familiars that a mere magus can summon are of that level. Familiars are just familiars. They are only mascots that run errands for their masters, so they cannot be being stronger than their masters. But servants are different. They are the most powerful beings. Even for sorcerers, of which there are only 5 of this world, it would probably be impossible to form a contract with them. It's not that the summoning is harder, or even that the ability of the servant surpasses that of the magus. Servants themselves are beings above magic. I'll make it clear. Servants are heroes from the past. Well, I mean, that's what a heroic spirit would mean. Myth, legend, fable, history, fiction or not, the superhuman beings who gained concrete existence in folklore are what we call heroes. I mean, I know a little bit of folklore. I don't know much about spearmen. I mean, unless they're just gonna pull like Leonidas or something from there. But was he a spearman? Yeah, they had spears. They were Spartans, of course. They of course had spears. But I don't really know that many spearmen. Not gonna lie. I know more knights than not. Yeah. Let's just leave it at that. I know some archers, not, a lot of them. A hero that becomes eternal in people's minds is no longer human after their death, and is promoted to another form of existence. Humans who bring about miracles, save people, and achieve great deeds are called heroes even after their death. Now, Genghis Khan could be like an archer at that sense. After being called so-called, they are promoted to heroic spirits after their death and become guardians of humanity. It doesn't matter whether these people exist in reality or only in stories. It is people's minds that create a hero. People's wishes that this is how things should be, given for them form and set up as a real. Authenticity, it does not matter. They can have form as long as they have fame as a legend and people have faith. The ultimate ideal hero humans have created, the greatest human people have created. These are the heroes, the heroic spirits, and of course, since they are beyond human, they cannot be controlled by humans. A magus usually borrows this power only to mimic them. They cannot summon the heroic spirits themselves. But the Holy Grail made that impossibility into reality. It summons the heroic spirit beyond human control and it turns it into a familiar obedient to the master. Most of the time. That nonsense is proof that the Holy Grail is almighty. And with the passing of years ignored, the heroic spirits are summoned, the most recent from 100 years ago, the oldest from the ancient days. The 7 heroic spirits obey each of the 7 masters, protect them and eliminate the masters of the enemy. Who would I want? I don't know. Heroes have every age and country are revived into the present day to kill one another for supremacy. That is why this ritual is called the Holy Grail War. It seems the Holy Grail has its limits too. Even the Holy Grail cannot indiscriminately call onto the spirit-like beings. Just as a form invented by humans is required for the imaginary 6th element, known as the devil, to take form, the heroic spirits also need a form to live in this world. That form is their temporary name and the way they exist in this world. The Holy Grail is furnished classes so that the heroic spirits may take form more easily, and it only summons the heroic spirits that match these classes. It's like a passport to the present, as it sets up a role as a familiar in advance. By allowing the summoned heroic spirit to take on that role, it helps the spirit take form. If there are 7 masters chosen by the Holy Grail, there are also 7 servants obeying those masters. There are 7 furnished classes. Knight of the Sword, Saber. Knight of the Lance, Lancer. Knight of the Bow, Archer. Mounted Soldier, Rider. That would probably be more Genghis Khan. Magus, Caster. No, I have no clue who that's gonna be. Assassin, Silent Killer. No thank you. Mad Warrior, Berserker. Only the heroic spirits with attributes of these classes are summoned to the present day and obey their master and become a servant. That is the servant system. A servant summoning and contract with the heroic spirit beyond human control to win the miracle beyond human grasp. The ultimate competition held only on this ground, the one and the only Holy Grail War. Who knows, maybe this is like Achilles or something. And wouldn't that be fucking helpful? Archer, shoot his heel, please. You got this, Archer. This is your calling. A loud crash. Literally as your calling at this point. The short sword that deflected Lancer's lance flies from Archer's hand. Ah, shit. This is Lancer's technique. A straight thrust that turns into a sweep at Archer's wrist. It's just it was a blow to Archer could not avoid even had he seen it coming. There is no effective way of parrying a lance with a sword. A strong rebuff only results in a stronger counterattack, and a weak rebuff it does not create any openings. That's why you need a shield. The important aspect of the battle between a sword and a lance lies in defeating the enemy when he is at the wrong range. Because with a shield, if you get right in close, he can't, bring it to the side because you can use that so it doesn't crush your ribs. There's no hesitation in Lancer, of course not. His movement to push Archer back stops. He must intend to end the match in a single instant. The stairs of the finally placed Lancer and the swordless Archer clash. In that instant, the lance is thrust just like a flash of light. It can't even be seen. Forehead, neck, and heart. 3 shots are launched, and only any one a fatal blow. But what? The flash, too fast to see, is repelled by a shining blade. Thought he was disarmed. And Archer's hand is a short sword again. Never mind. A sword like before, a Chinese sword like a hatchet. I'm not good at Chinese mythological heroes, so good game there.